Dear students, welcome back. So, in the previous session, we have seen the muscles associated with the rib cage. Okay, and in that, the primary ventilatory muscles are the diaphragm, intercostalis, and the subcostalis muscles. So, here now we are going to deal with diaphragm. Okay, anatomically, the diaphragm consists of two major components. So this is the diaphragm muscle. So this is the diaphragm muscle which divides the entire trunk into thorax as well as the abdomen. Okay, so this diaphragm is the primary ventilatory muscle, and anatomically this diaphragm consists of two major components. One is the central tendon, that is the first component is the central tendon. Here you can see this one, this is the central tendon here, which is a non-contractile part of the diaphragm. This is the non-contractile part of the diaphragm, and which is forming the dome, central dome of the diaphragm, appears as boomerang shape. Okay, this is the first component of the diaphragm. So central tendon is the first component of the diaphragm, and it is a non-contractile part forming the top called dome of the diaphragm. Okay, and this central tendon consists of again two portions. One is the central portion, this is called the central portion, and two leaflets. On the lateral side you can see this two leaflets. It appears like this, so like boomerang shape. Okay, so this is the central portion and two leaflets. The central tendon, the central portion of the central tendon fuses with the pericardium, because so here the heart is present at this position, isn't it? So the covering, the outer layer of the heart is called pericardium. So the pericardium is fused with the central portion of the central tendon. Okay, now the lateral leaflets of the central tendons or the domes of the right and left hemidiaphragms. So these two leaflets forms the domes of the right and left hemidiaphragms అంటే half. So right side ఒక half, left side ఒక half dome shapes form అవుతాయి అన్నమాట. Okay, yes, this is about the first component of the diaphragm, that is the central tendon. Next one is the contractile component. This is the second component. It is a circular margin, so you can see this one around the central tendon. So this is a circular margin. So it is a circular margin of radially oriented muscle fibers. So you can see number of muscle fibers, radially oriented muscle fibers that attach proximally to the central tendon. So all these fibers are attached to the proximal to the central tendon. You can see here these fibers, this is the inferior aspect. You can see the fibers, whatever the fibers of the diaphragm which are going towards upwards, and then all are inserted to the dome. Okay, that is the central portion, that is the non-contractile portion of the diaphragm. Okay, Now this muscular portion, so these fibers, so it is a circular margin. Contractile component of the diaphragm is a circular margin of radially oriented muscle fibers that attach proximally to the central tendon. Okay, now this muscular portion of the diaphragm has two different muscles. One is present in the dorsal aspect and another one is present in ventral portion. So these are the dorsal muscles and these are the ventral muscles. So ventral muscles are very much nearer to the costal cartilages, towards the sternum and all, and this dorsal component are present nearer the thoracic vertebrae, lumbar and the thoracic vertebrae. So mainly lumbar vertebrae. Okay, now the muscles which are present on the dorsal portion are called as crural fibers, and the muscles which are present ventrally, that is called ventral portion or the anterior side, these fibers are called as costal fibers. Okay, now, so how many fibers are there? There are two different types of fibers. One is the crural fibers which are present on the dorsal side, and another fibers which are present on the anterior side, that is the ventral side. So the dorsal portion of the diaphragm is called as crural fibers, and the muscle fibers present on the ventral aspect are called as costal fibers. These costal fibers, you can see here in the inferior aspect, these are the costal fibers and these are the crural fibers. These are the crural fibers. Okay. Now, these fibers, which fibers? Anterior fibers or ventral portion, that is the costal fibers. The name itself indicates the fibers are originating from the costa, that means ribs. Okay, the costal fibers of the diaphragm originate from the inner surface of lower six ribs, and also the costal cartilages of the lower six ribs. So it originates from the inner surfaces ante lopal pakkam. So inner surfaces of the lower six ribs and the adjacent costal cartilages, and also here you can see not only this ribs, it is also getting some fibers from the giphisternum. So some muscular slips attached to the posterior aspect of the xiphoid process. So here you can see the posterior aspect. This is the anterior aspect. Here we can see here this is the anterior aspect. This one is anterior aspect. So on the posterior aspect of the giphisternum, some muscular slips are originating. Okay, so these are the costal fibers of the diaphragm. And how these fibers run or move? Okay, the costal fibers run vertically. The costal fibers of the diaphragm run vertically from their origin. So from their origin in close opposition of the rib cage. So this is the rib cage. You can see here the fibers are running vertically upwards and which are very much close opposition to the rib cage. జస్ట్ ఆపోజిట్గా ఉంటుంది అనమాట. ఈ ఫైబర్స్ ఎట్లుంటుంది, రిబ్ కేజ్కి ఆపోజిట్గా ఉంటుంది అనమాట. సో దీస్ ఫైబర్స్ విల్ నాట్ టచ్ ద రిబ్ కేజ్. ఓకే, దీస్ ఫైబర్స్ విల్ నాట్ టచ్ ద రిబ్ కేజ్. Okay, so They run vertically from their origin in close opposition to the rib cage, and then these muscle fibers curve. So after going vertically upwards, and then it curves, and become horizontal here, and becomes horizontal before inserting into the central tendon. So these fibers are coming vertically upwards and a close opposition to the rib cage, and then it becomes more horizontal before inserting into the central tendon. Okay, and because of this arrangement of these fibers, we will get a zone called as zone of opposition. What do you call? Zone of opposition. The vertically traveling costal fibers of the diaphragm, which lies close to the inner wall of the lower rib cage, form a functional unit. Called zone of opposition. సో ఈ గ్యాప్ ఉంటుందమ్మా రిబ్ కేజ్కిను అండ్ వర్టికల్లీ గోయింగ్ ఫైబర్స్కి ఈ మధ్యలో కొంత గ్యాప్ ఉంటుంది. దిస్ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ జోన్ ఆఫ్ అపోజిషన్ అండ్ విచ్ ఫార్మ్స్ ఓన్లీ విత్ ద లోయర్ రిబ్ కేజ్. ఓకే, సో ఇక్కడ ఒక స్పేస్ మనకి క్రియేట్ అవుతుందన్నమాట. సో లైక్ దిస్, if this is the rib cage like this, so here the muscles, the costal fibers will move like this. So here you'll have some gap here. That gap is called as zone of opposition. So it is have some clinical importance during breathing. What happened to this zone of opposition during inspiration and expiration? So it is called as functional unit. Okay, next, coming to the crural portions of the diaphragm. Okay, the crural fibers of the diaphragm originate from two tendinous structures called right crus and left crus. Here you can see the right crus and left crus. Okay, so the posterior or the dorsal portion fibers are called as crural fibers. It is also called as vertebral fibers, which are arising from the vertebral bodies. So how these are arising? The crural fibers of the diaphragm originate from the two tendinous structures. You can see here two tendinous structures called the right and left crus and form the aponeurotic and from the aponeurotic arcuate ligaments. Here you can see the arcuate ligaments. So arcuate means arch like. So here you can see this arcuate ligaments. This side also. This is also arcuate ligaments. Right and left side arcuate ligaments. So these fibers are originating from the tendinous structures called the right and left crus and from the aponeurotic arcuate ligaments, and these are attached to the vertebral bodies. These crus and the arcuate ligaments attached to the vertebrae. So these are called as vertebral portion also. The right and left crus originating or arise from the L1 to L3 vertebrae. L1 to L3 vertebrae. So lumbar vertebrae. L1 to L3 vertebrae. These right and left crus are attached. Okay, the tendons pass ventrally and medially, joining together to form an arch just ventral to the aorta. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమవుతుందంటే these though they are arising from the on the lumbar vertebrae, these fibers move, the tendons move or tendons pass ventrally అంటే ముందుకు వస్తుంది. సో ముందుకు వచ్చి మీడియల్ సైడ్కి వస్తుంది అనమాట. సో ఇట్ కమ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ అంటే వెనక భాగం నుంచి ఇలా ముందుకు వచ్చి అండ్ దెన్ ఫార్మ్ these two together join to form an arch just ventral to the aorta. ante so behind this we are having a aorta. So behind the aorta this form and these two crushes unite to form an arch like structure just anterior to the aorta. Ventral is nothing but anterior. Aorta ki anterior side lo this arch is formed. Okay, again we will see the right and left crus or the tendons that arise from L1 to L3 lumbar vertebrae. The tendons pass ventrally and medially, joining together form an arch just ventral to the aorta. Just ventral to the aorta. ఓకే, సో ఇది వెనకాల ఉంటాయమ్మా. ఈ ఫైబర్స్ క్రూరల్ ఫైబర్స్ ఆర్ present on the posterior side, isn't it? So these fibers will pass ventrally అంటే వెనకాల ఉన్న ఫైబర్స్ ముందుకొచ్చి అండ్ ఆల్సో ఇన్ మీడియల్లీ, సో ముందుకి మధ్యలోకి, సో వెంట్రలీ అండ్ మీడియల్లీ, అండ్ దీస్ టూ tendons join together to form an arch just ventral to the aorta. అంటే అయోర్టా ముందు భాగంలో ఈ రెండు యునైట్ అయ్యి ఒక ఆర్చ్ లాగా ఫామ్ అవుతుందన్నమాట. ఓకే, దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ ద క్రూరల్ పోర్షన్ ఆర్ ద dorsal portion or the vertebral fibers of the diaphragm. Now we will see in the next video how this muscle fibers are going to work, which causes the respiratory movements. What happens during quiet respiration or tidal breathing? We will see this thing in the next video. Thank you.